Hello everyone and welcome back to Coin Engineers. So today I want to give you some updates about what is going on in the crypto markets. There's been massive updates and I'm going to talk about exactly how these news affect the markets and what you can expect in the upcoming weeks. And there seems to be a lot of noise and uncertainty, so I'm going to help you get over the noise and give it to you straight and talk about things that no one is talking about. So make sure to stick around for the full video because I'll cover everything to help you understand exactly what to expect in the upcoming weeks. So let's jump straight into the video. Starting with the rate cuts, as I mentioned last week, Fed did not cut the rates. This was very expected. However, like usual, all the influencers on YouTube and X were talking about how they were expecting rate cuts. I want to quickly say, stop falling for these people who keep farming attention while giving you zero value whatsoever. Your attention is valuable and these people will do anything to get a glimpse of it. My goal is to make sure that here in this channel, we give you everything as is and help you avoid the noise so you can be well educated. The first rule of being profitable in this market is by clearing your mental and avoiding the noise. If that is something you like, please help us out by clicking the like button and subscribing to the channel so the algorithm can show this to others who can also benefit from it. Continuing with the rate cuts, next Fed meeting will be on July 29th to 30th, and we have about 3 more Fed meetings for the rest of the year. I want to strongly emphasize you guys to lower your expectations here because everything that is currently impacting the CPI data is causing the inflation to rise again, especially due to the tariffs and the war conflict. It is very unlikely we will see any rate cuts anytime soon. At best, we are going to get 1 or maybe 2 rate cuts for the full year. Even though Trump keeps on pushing for rate cuts, it won't change anything. The Federal Reserve is a separate entity and Trump has no power in these decisions whatsoever. And as you can see here, according to the CME Group's FedWatch tool, FOMC is only projecting a 25 basis points cuts for 2025. Now, I know this looks bad for the markets as we were expecting more rate cuts this year. However, keep in mind that so far, the main driver of the crypto markets has been the devaluation of the dollar. Even though the Fed is not cutting any rates, they continue to print money to bail out the banks. Especially now with the war conflict going on, as well as the outstanding trillions of dollars of debt, which has now almost reached $37 trillion in debt, are going to force the Fed to turn on the money printing machine once again, which will cause another massive run in crypto. Meanwhile, the war escalations does not seem to be slowing down. While everyone thinks that everything has cooled down and there will be peace soon, I want to remind you that this was the same exact thing we thought when Russia to Ukraine escalation started happening. And US has been continuously caught in lies to the media by telling people they were not involved in this conflict, meanwhile admitting to providing arsenal to Israel. And even Trump tweeted this on June 17th saying that they have complete control of the skies over Iran. This only means that we are yet to see more escalations which will cause a lot of volatility in the markets again. So I strongly advise everyone to stay away from risky assets as investors will keep rotating into safe haven like bonds, gold, and even Bitcoin, but altcoins are not in this list as of yet. There is a very big likelihood of a cool down in the markets in the next few weeks. And if the war escalates, there will be most likely the giant money printing again, as US will continue to aid and send money to Israel. We can see the Israeli media reporting that air defense is costing them $285 million per day. Last time in Iraq war, US has spent a total of $2 trillion, and the current US debt being almost at $37 trillion, the only way out of this debt can only come from another massive money printing. Another news is that the Genius Act just passed in Congress, which is a big deal for crypto. Basically, the US seems to be trying to strengthen the dollar by getting more people to use stablecoins. We can also see Trump continue to rush this bill to get it signed and approved. Today, for instance, we saw the Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent commenting on how the stablecoin adoption can be good for the dollar.
Because crypto, that seems to be a threat to the dollar, doesn't it?
I think it's the opposite.
Oh, really?
I think stable coins could reinforce dollar supremacy because stable coins could end up being one of the largest buyers of U.S. treasuries or T-bills. So all of a sudden, if you are using a stable coin in Nigeria that's backed by the US dollar, you don't actually have to have dollars. It's on your phone. You can transact. So I think there's a very good chance that crypto is actually one of the things that locks in dollar supremacy.
So to sum it up, what he means is with all the debt and money printing, they need a way to get investors to buy up things like bonds. And if those bonds were turned into digital stablecoins that everyone could easily use, it could help strengthen the dollar again and balance things out. So this could really open the door for a lot more people to start using crypto. For people who doesn't get the full picture, think of stablecoins like the gateway to crypto. Since purchasing crypto is always through stablecoins, and since many investors will rather put their money to work than to sit on cash, as stablecoin adoption increases, crypto adoption will also increase simultaneously. We can already see many headlines with big institutions already starting to move towards stablecoin adoption. Some of these headlines are Visa expanding its stablecoin operation across Europe, the Middle East, and Africa. And we also have Walmart and Amazon, with the world's biggest retailers, that are now considering their own stablecoins. So just before I end the video, I want to help you make sense of what this all means and what you can expect going forward to make it easier for you. So I'll give you my prediction. However, just remember that I'm not a financial advisor, and always do your own research to make sense of things before making any investment decisions. I'm simply here to educate you and help you understand how you can also make sense of all these news to make smarter investment decisions. What I predict is that we're most likely going into a short-term cool-down period again in crypto for a few weeks due to the war escalation and uncertainty in the markets, and wait for Fed to turn on the money printing machine again. Even though there are great news all across the board like Genius Act passing Congress and crypto adoption increasing and money printing, these do not reflect to the charts in the short term. The other thing to keep an eye out for is the Solana ETF approval. When it comes to the Solana ETF approval, I think Solana will behave differently than Bitcoin and Ethereum ETF news, where we saw a dump on the short term, because the main driver to these dumps were the Grayscale sell pressure. However, this time, Grayscale has paid a giant premium for Solana, and they'll most likely not want to sell at a loss. Also, I want to remind you that in this cycle, Solana has always been an outlier, where we have seen multiple times a Solana surge while other crypto coins were barely moving. If we do see this in the upcoming weeks, it could trigger an altcoin season, where the main driver of the altcoin season being Solana, as we have barely seen any action on Ethereum. And remember, history does not always repeat, but it does rhyme. For now, the best thing to do is to just wait for some of this fog and uncertainty to clear before calling an altcoin season, and patiently wait for some of these events to unfold. Meanwhile, I'll be DCing into Solana and Solana-based cryptos. We'll be here making more videos to continuously update you guys as more events unfold and continue to educate you guys. In return, all I'm asking is for you to like and subscribe to the video, so I can make more videos like this, continue to educate you guys and clearing out the noise to make your education progress easy and effortless. And thank you so much for sticking around until the end of the video, and I'll see you on the next one.